Welcome to Almost 30 Podcast, or welcome back. I'm so glad you're here.
Hi, it's Lindsey and Krista. If you're new to the podcast, every Tuesday and Thursday, you can find us here. We will hang.
I just saw myself in the camera reflection, and I just was like, yo, I look like Diglett. Also, my hair is slick. I have like a brown turtleneck on, and you could like barely see my head. I'm at the bottom of the screen. Sit up tall. I look like oh my God, I look like the worst type of art teacher.
I miss my
dude. Art teachers
loved my art teacher so much, Mrs. Schultz.
Dude, you know what's so funny is like now I'm hopeful that people are kind of coming around with respect to art teachers, because I bet you like back then you're like, I don't know if you just think nothing is cool, but you're like, art's boring. But now it's like, yo, art is like such an outlet. And hopefully now because of social media and there is more of an emphasis on creativity and art and culture through Instagram, that people are like, yo, art class is dope.
Yes, completely. Yeah, it's not just popsicle sticks. And
I don't even remember anything actually about my childhood, which is trauma response. But the other day I was with Justin and we were in the car and he's like, we passed Palisades High School. Mm-hmm. And he's like, Palisades High School Dolphins. That's what their mascot is. And I was like, oh, I love that. Like, if I was in high school, I'd be like, this is the coolest mascot, because Dolphins like rocked and still rock. He's like, don't you know what your rival high school's mascots were? And I was like, no, I don't remember a single one. I don't even know a single rival high school or anyone that was in our division. And he honestly was like going to crash the car. He's like, I will be on my deathbed. I will be 100 years old and I could tell you all my rival high schools and their mascots. Though. I was like, why would I care? Like, why would I seriously save my brain space for that? Like,
what was your mascot at your high school?
A comet. Which fits.
Oh, cool.
Comets. Oh my God. I dated this one guy in high school and he was like, what do comets do? Crash barns? He's like, that's how comets do, is crash barns. He's like, what a shitty mascot.
Definitely from Ohio.
Oh, big facts. Big facts. I was like, yeah, that is true.
Ours was Villa Bees. We were the bees. We weren't hornets. We weren't wasps, or we were Villa Bees.
You were the basis of all nature, baby.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah,
mascots is kind of a funky thing. It's like, whatever.
Totally.
It's just
whatever,
like, okay,
man.
Sure.
Let's put someone in a suit and just have a parade around the court.
Oh my God.
Anyway, we're going to get right into this episode today. Today's a solo in celebration and just kind of going deeper on the sacredness of being single. As you guys know, or maybe you don't yet, but I am doing a 6-week program. It's called The Sacredness of Being Single, based on an episode that I did a few years ago during this season of my life. I was single for 7 years, and it wasn't until about year 5 that I really understood the purpose of this season and just got really right with myself. And I was no longer trying to find that validation and reason and purpose in a relationship solely. I'm in a relationship now, which I think puts me just in this really unique position to look back and understand just how powerful reconnecting with myself in more ways than one has actually opened me up to a connection with another person that I've never, ever felt before. And I know it is because I took the time, during my single years, rather than trying to escape and wish it away and try to find that person and focus on what I didn't have, that, I'm just having a very different experience today. Mm-hmm. So I'm really excited for this program. So for this episode, I really wanted to go deep on one aspect of the program that we're going to dig into, which is identifying the pressure, because I feel like, all of us grow up in very different environments, experiences, etc. But there are some really common threads as it relates to media, family, friends, etc. And so this just starts to peel back the layers on like what the real underlying feeling and belief is, because there's no shame in wanting to be in relationship, in love with someone. But I do think that there is a misalignment that sometimes happens when we're single, where we believe that fill in the blank. This person is going to complete us. Being in a relationship will make me more successful, lovable, beautiful, etc. So I just want to start to peel back the layers with you all. And then, of course, in the program, we're going to go much, much deeper in an intimate group. We're going to be doing live calls every single week so we can connect with one another, with me. And I'm just really honored. This has been something that's been on my heart for a long time. And so it just feels like the perfect time, the perfect time to be doing it.
And it's so unique. It's so unique because most things and programs are like how to find the one, how to get to the one, how to, and it's the focus on the destination in quotes or finding the other person or making yourself a certain way for the other person or whatever. And so the focus on the wholeness of the single process and just being yourself is really what's unique about this. And I think that's like my favorite.
Completely. There is this like, I think we're so afraid of the unknown as humans. We really want clarity. We want to define things. But it's funny because like we don't know anything. I know.
I mean, look,
it's hilarious.
That's what's funny is like, what's actually guaranteed? Nothing. Life isn't guaranteed.
But it is like that surrender to that where a lot of, I mean, I don't mean to be cheesy, but literally where a lot of the magic happens. And I think that's what I experienced during that time where I didn't know. I didn't know if I was going to find someone the next day or 5 years from now, but like just really playing in that abyss, I was like, oh, hello, that's where I am. That's literally where I am. Because I'm ever changing. I can't be like defined as one thing or another. But I got a message from someone the other day and they were just kind of reflecting on where they're at in their single season. And she's like, I'm 31, this sweet listener, Victoria. I'm 31, never married and currently single. Although I would love to meet the one for me, it doesn't bother me right now because I'm so invested in my own growth and building the life I want before aligning with another soul. Having just moved to the Southwest from New York, the number one question I get is, are you married? And then why not? It's so bizarre to me that it is how others measure their perception of you. Thank you for your encouraging words. But yeah, I think that's one of the things where it's like these default questions of like, are you in a relationship? Are you single? Oh my God, like you're such a catch. What's, why? And it's so silly, but like that sticks. That sticks to people. So,
it's just old. I have such compassion though. Like it's hard to think of things to talk about with people and find new interesting questions to ask outside of the standard norm. Are you married? Do you have kids? Where do you work? What do you do? So I think, it's kind of on all of us to find more interesting things about people.
Yes.
And I think as we move away from people just being determined by their labels of I'm a lawyer, I have a husband, I have a wife, have 2 kids. Those are parts of people's existence, but that's not their whole existence. So I think as we move away from like just being attached to certain identities that we have,
yes,
that we will be able to have broader conversations that are outside of that sort of situation.
I completely agree.
Yeah, I'm excited. I think this is going to be powerful, and I think bringing women together in conversation about it is really, really good.
Yeah, it's been so healing for me. So more information about the sacredness of being single is on almost30.com. You can DM me as well with any questions about the program or any questions in general at Lindsey Simcik on Instagram. Enjoy this one. Share it with a friend. And again, if you're someone who's not in this season and it's not necessarily resonating with you, pass this along to someone who could, really use that support and pass along the information on the program.
I'll have my sister join.
Oh, I would love that. Yeah.
I'll have my sister join.
I would love that. The enrollment closes on March 10th and we begin on the 14th. So every Sunday night we're going to be connecting, which will be really
I love a Sunday night.
Nice.
I love that.
I love a Sunday night.
Sunday night is just
I know.
Just the vibe. Sunday night is just the hours between 4 and 8 p.m. on Sunday.
Oh,
There's nothing better. That's my time to shine.
That's so true.
It's my time
I can
to
already
shine.
feel it.
Because it's like no one's calling me.
It's quiet.
I'm just putting away groceries.
Yeah.
And like taking a bath and
high-fiving your cats.
Oh, heck yeah. Just wrangling the babies.
All right, everyone. Thank you for listening. We appreciate you. And we will see you on the other side of this one.
Yeah, we'll see you guys soon.
Hi, everyone. It's Linz. If you're watching on YouTube, your girl just rolled in from the desert. I think I still have dust on my face, but I had to talk to you guys. I had to record this episode. It was just on my heart from being really, truly in the middle of nowhere for a couple days with Krista. We were doing a lot of work, but man, oh man, did I hear my thoughts. And as we approach the Sacredness of Being Single program launch, a lot was coming through. And, my intention for this episode is really to meet you where you are. I know a lot of you either have become newly single over the past year and or continue to be in this season of your life, but a pandemic and just so many unprecedented circumstances over the last year or so have, I think, and just perceive to have made this season of our lives that much more important, but it doesn't come without a lot of heartache and loneliness and hopelessness and overanalyzing and comparison. So I just want to, in this moment, wherever you are, if you are listening and you are in this season of your life, I have my hand over my heart right now, and I'm sending you so much love, because I know what is here for you in this season, but I also know that it can be overwhelming at times. So I'm here to hold both truths can be held by you and by me, and I'm just really excited to connect. If you attended my Sacredness of Being Single live connection circle, thank you for being there. That means so much to me, and we just had such a beautiful experience together, and I'm honored to support anyone who feels called to the Sacredness of Being Single program. This episode is going to be short. I really want to speak to what I'm feeling right now as far as this season, especially post 2020, and just in the world and circumstances that we're living in right now. And I want to talk about the program a little bit. So, I'm not a salesperson. I don't ever feel comfortable doing that, but I have to say this program literally poured out of me, and I feel so good and comfortable just kind of sharing this with you. And if it's not for you, cool, but if you have someone in your life that would really benefit from being in community to really thrive through this season, I would love for you to pass this along to them. 2020, let's talk about it for a second. And I actually don't even like to say 2020 because time is so weird, and 2021 started and I'm kind of still feeling funky in a few ways. So I actually don't really want to talk time. But yeah, just what we've gone through recently has been so hard, and I think most difficult on the connection side, the social side, which I've just realized is so vital to who I am and how I create, and to not be able to hug, and I'm gonna get emotional, hug and see family, and be able to see my partner on the regular basis, or see my friends, who live in other cities on a regular basis. It's just been so difficult. And layer on top of that, just feeling like everyone's having a different experience. So I've caught myself sometimes, just kind of holding back on expressing myself because I either feel guilt or shame compared to someone else's experience, or I feel like I'm more overwhelmed, less overwhelmed. There's just all of this kind of mind mind gymnastics going on. And so, yeah, it's just been so much. And I've talked to a lot of you out there who are in this single season in their lives. And, the majority of you were expressing how two truths are existing where, this time has actually given you the opportunity to, really hear how you've been feeling. I think the quiet, the slowdown, we're not, in our usual autopilot routines. It's really opened up a portal to some deep truths about you. And I think that's so beautiful. It doesn't come without emotion and without just feeling like, what do I do next? Right. But I just think the fact that that's coming up is such a blessing. And I've also heard from a lot of you, the other truth is that you're unable to date. You're unable to really do what you would have normally done during this time, which is either be on a dating app, go meet people, or travel the world and do all of these things that feel nourishing to you and or fun and exciting to you. And you feel like you've lost time. You feel like, oh my gosh, I'm getting older. And when am I going to find my partner? How can I find my partner? I can't go outside of my house, that's extreme, but it was true at some point this past year. And so I just really feel you. And I just want to honor that experience. So, the sacredness of being single came to light during a time in my life where I was single for 7 years. So I really relate to a lot of you out there who find yourselves in a long stretch of not being in a serious relationship. And I was always looking for my person, literally walking into the freaking grocery store every time and just pouring all of my energy into, is he here? Instead of picking the correct dinner for myself. You know what I mean? Just so much energy was spent outside of myself, and really looking just desperately trying to find him or trying to find the reason why I wasn't attracting that person or the people that I thought I should be with. And man, it was so exhausting. I'm not going to tell the whole story in this episode. You can go listen to my episode, The Sacredness of Being Single. You can just search that in your podcast app. And you can listen to the full story there. But there's just so much pressure. I don't know if you feel this way, but there's so much pressure to be something. Always. To be successful, to be in love, to be on purpose. Did you find your purpose yet? To be healthy, to be happy, to be all of these things. But what about when you're in between, right? And I'm in quotes, in between. So what is no longer, in this case, a relationship? A lot of you, came out of relationships during this season, realizing that it wasn't for you. And so you're in between what is no longer and what is not yet. And there's not much praise or recognition for that or support. People are just okay, we're kind of taught and supported in the journey to something. So keep moving in the direction of the thing, the accolade, the title, the reward. I mean, I just see, and it's cool, there are so many coaches out there. So get your 14-fig business, we're striving towards something, right? And my goal and my intention with the sacredness of being single, and even in today's episode, I just want to impart to any of you out there who are in that season that there is so much growth and opportunity waiting for us all in this abyss. So if you find yourself in an in-between, yes, it's an abyss. It's almost like you can't see. It's almost as if the lights are turned off. It's which way is up, which way is right, which way is left. But there's so much growth here. Yet our first instinct is to wish it away. How do I get out of this? How do I get out of this abyss? It feels like a labyrinth. You're okay, so what's my plan? What's my strategy? And we ultimately just try to get out of the discomfort. And why is it uncomfortable? For so many reasons. But I think that we as humans really find comfort in being able to control our circumstances. Like I really relate to that. I'm a Virgo sun. Okay. I really love organization, having everything in its rightful place. And so when I was in that season and I felt like, wow, I don't know what's next, I just felt like my value diminished. I didn't feel, I just felt less confident. And what's really cool is that when I leaned more into my faith and God and trusting that where I am in my life is exactly where I'm meant to be. And by the way, I know we hear this a lot, and I know there could be some like eye roll tendencies to that phrase, but I swear to you, in this program too, we're going to be doing a lot of deep work around timing and around the pressure and just how that works together to kind of like lead us away from ourselves. But I promise you that when you lean into the abyss, it could be the most fruitful part of your life adventure yet. But we have to choose it. God gave us free will. Thank you so much. We can choose it. What's hard as humans too is like we don't give ourselves the time and space to actually listen to what's coming up. I am so freaking guilty. I mean, journaling is so hard for me, giving myself the time and space to actually hear my thoughts like, oh yeah. But we don't. And what comes up if we do allow ourselves the time and space is ultimately this invitation to a deeper part of you and a knowing that you can collaborate with. And what's really cool is that when you start to collaborate with that knowing and that deeper part of you, and you're just in that rhythm, it creates this magnetism that will honestly change your life. And I can't even describe it. I really can't describe it. But I've seen friends, I've seen family just really lean into trusting themselves and committing to knowing themselves deeper. And man, when I see them again, a lot of my friends have done this, and I'm just like, what is it? What's changed? What's happening? And it truly is just that. And I feel like they just glow. They just emanate this energy that is so attractive to anyone, really. And I can imagine just attracting so many opportunities too, for growth, for success, for whatever you want, right? And it really requires that space and time to do that. And that's what I hope to provide in the program. And I just want to say this because it's true, but like what comes up is not always pretty. It's not always like, oh my God, there I am. I love myself. This is amazing. Let's collaborate. Sometimes what comes up is like not sweet and not pretty and kind of uncomfortable, ugly, hard. And that's okay too. Like there is no light without the shadow. And I just think that there's a collaboration there too between the light and the shadow. You are worth all this work. I just want to say that too. You are worth all of this work to remember who you are, and this work to let go of who you thought you should be in order to be loved and accepted. We all have our own programming, from childhood, what was required to be loved and accepted. And I'm really excited to welcome, so many different experiences and stories to this program and not make it a one size fits all, because it's not. It's truly, truly not. So, in the program, I'm really excited to make it very specific to you, just in the individual work you'll be doing, but then how we connect in community. And I'm excited to just activate more of the feminine in you. And this is not like male, female, this is the feminine energy in you. And, when I did this, when I activated more of the flow, the ease, when I let go of that like really masculine grip of needing to know, of having a plan, I just truly began to understand the dimensionality of it all, how there are like so many layers, so many timelines, so many realities happening at once, that I have the power to not only choose, but I also just have this breadth of experience that if I take time to actually be with myself, I can understand that I already have. So I know that was a lot in one sentence, and like the concept of being a multidimensional being is a lot to wrap your mind around, but you don't need to wrap your mind around it. I think that we all have our experiences that are very specific to us that will show us exactly that we are dimensional. And, I'm excited to just witness people in the program doing that as well. But we spoiler alert, we have everything we need. We are everything we need. We are everything that we've been waiting for. God is good in that way. So, as I was designing this program, I really thought a lot about, what society teaches us. And I think, I'll just speak from my experience of growing up in the United States, but there's a standard, like, and this probably applies no matter where you are. There is a kind of a standard in relationship. Having a partner definitely holds weight. And in a sense, like a status, we're taught to work towards being in a relationship with another. And we see this, in the emphasis and the fanfare around Valentine's Day. We see this in our rom-coms, TV shows, engagement ring bling all over Instagram and Pinterest. We see the dating, marriage, reality TV shows, 90 Day Fiance. Like, we just see it. We're bombarded with it. We see it in our explore pages, It's truly everywhere. And by the way, update on me, I'm in a relationship that I am just incredibly proud of. And I'm so happy. And what I also know is that if I did not if I was not present to my single season when I was, and the depth to which I went, I would not be in this relationship right now. So I just wanted to kind of update you on that. But I am not here to say don't be in a relationship because it's cheesy and it's, what reality TV is about. It's not. It's that we don't actually celebrate this time that we have for ourselves. Every season of your life is for you. No matter how high you go or how low you go, it is for you, and there is a serious purpose. But I think because of the pressure that society puts on us, as well as our families, friends, you name it, we feel like we got to rush out of it. We feel like we got to actually put a lot of time and energy into unbecoming this season and really becoming a partner and in a relationship. And from my perspective, that's not the best use of our time and energy. So, you all know why I can speak to this if you've listened to the previous Sacredness of Being Single episode, but just as like a very brief, like, hi, this is why I can speak to this, and this is why I'm excited to lead you in this program. I thought I was going to marry my college sweetheart. Hi, raise your hand out there if you or me. I was 24 and really sure that I was going to be engaged by 27, married by 28, kids by 30, yada, yada, yada. But we were evolving and changing as we should, and we really didn't have the tools or experience to do that together. And it was really, really painful. It was really, really painful. And, if God or someone would have told me that I would be single for the next 7 years after that, I would have been like, I'm out. Let me sit this one out. Nope. I was sure that I needed a relationship in order to feel more complete. I was sure. I was definitely sure of that. But it wasn't true. I didn't find that out until like year 5 of 7. Because up until then, I was attracting men who confirmed how I felt about myself, which was incomplete, unworthy, insecure, too much. The list goes on. But I really kind of got sick of my own shit. And by year 5, I was like, wait a second. wait a second. And I think therapy just kind of, started this for me. But I began to heal and really come back to myself and hear that voice inside of me. That just like, that voice that's just like, hey, I've always been here for you. I love you so much. And let's do this together, right? Like I just really started to enjoy time with myself and witnessing myself, and dating myself and curating experiences for my growth and for my evolution, and just like to be as present as possible. And I probably got to the point where I was like, good if I didn't find anyone, it was kind of like that far. And then I reconnected with my current partner, and it changed my life again. But I'm just really, really, really excited and interested in peeling back the layers with you in the program and having you discover that really raw part of you that I think up until now has probably been pretty quiet. But that part of you that is just, she has this anchor in the earth, and she is just so connected to all that is ethereal and cosmic, right? Like she's just so anchored, yet she's just so connected to all that is. And I just feel like that connection with her has now made me like an incredible partner. It's also helped me to sustain my own identity and knowing, because when I'm in a relationship, I have a history of like morphing and being what the other person needs always while sacrificing my own needs. So this has really helped me to become an incredible partner. So yeah, I mean, all this to say, like I trust that if you are out there listening to this and feel called, that you will explore more. I want you to trust yourself. I never want you to feel like I have to do this. It's always just like that feeling of yes, that feeling of knowing. And, this program is for you if, for example, you find yourself wishing you could just find your soulmate already. If you are afraid that you will be alone forever. You are uncomfortable spending time with yourself. That's so real. So real. If you're worried about what others think about your singleness, if you're always looking for the one like me in the grocery store, if you believe that no one will love you as you are, or you're ashamed of being single, or you are underwhelmed and bored with your dating life, or you do not feel seen, you have anxiety that time is running out for you, and that you'll never find the one. And if you're only feeling validated when you're in a relationship. So yeah, that's kind of who I'm talking to. And I just feel that it is so important to redefine this season for yourself. I don't want you to miss out on what is here for you. And you're so good at redefining. The nature of who you are is always redefining. I mean, the cell turnover, I feel like I think we're a different human being completely every 7 years, something crazy like that. But you've changed so much. Think about who you were 5-10 years ago. Like you've changed so much. So let us continue to just like redefine and evolve and just kind of love on who we're becoming. And I am just honored to be doing this with you. So this program is broken down into 6 different modules. Or 6 different weeks. And each module will begin with a video from me. It's a personal video. Every week we'll have a really unique meditation experience, visualization, as well as a curated, downloadable with journal prompts, with specific integrations. So many of them are really fun weekly practices and exercises that you'll be doing on your own. And then of course you have the community in Kajabi. That Kajabi is the platform, but you'll be able to connect with each other really easily and seamlessly in Kajabi, and it's very private. And then lastly, we have a live call every week, Sunday evening, my time, but it's going to be a really, really special 2-hour live call. We're going to be going deep. I could not be more excited. So again, if this is for you, I trust that you'll learn more. And if you can pass this on to a friend, if you want to invite friends, it's gonna be once in a lifetime. I don't know if I'll do this live version ever again. So I can't wait. I really can't wait. Thank you for listening. And I just hope this kind of conversation between me and me, on the sacredness of being single as I see it today, and especially in the wake of what has, gone on in the last year, has activated something in you, whether you explore with me in the Sacredness of Being Single program that's open for enrollment or elsewhere. I just trust that your own activation will lead you. But I love you guys so much. Thank you as always for listening and just being the best. And I'll see you really soon. You can find more information on Sacredness of Being Single enrollment, which is open now at almost30.com. And you can visit my Instagram as well. It's in my bio. So I'm at Lindsey Simcik, Simcik. All right, everyone. Thank you for being here. Always subscribe if you're not already subscribed, so we can be in your inbox every single week. And I will see you on the next one.